Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Mob Psycho 100 Season 3, Episode 11, Mob 3, Trauma. And last episode, Mob has just lost it. He's walking around destroying stuff, and Teruki tried to stop him, but I mean, he did save some people that Mob clearly didn't care about hurting in the state that he was. So now they're sending in what's his name? The leader of the Claw organization. She's gonna go and try to confront Mob, try to stop him, but I don't know if that's gonna work either. I mean, he is super strong, considering the fact that they both went against each other last season and everything. But Mob did win at the end of it, so it's like, I don't know. So that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/feelmini. And now let's start this episode. And here we go. I knew that Suzuki was not going to be able to stop him. I didn't expect Sho to show up during this fight, but it was kind of nice to see father and son face Mob and everything. And the animation, stop it, the animation was amazing and everything, but it's like I knew that they were not gonna be able to stop him. And then while they're fighting and everything, and then you have Ritsu realizing that Mob has lost it and everything, that the other part of himself has shown up, and he's just, as he was making his way toward Mob, he kept basically remembering how Mob used to be when they were little. He would show his emotions more. He would display his powers as a normal person that has powers and is proud of it, will be using his powers and everything. But then when that incident happened, he just sort of closed that part of himself off. He's closed his emotions off. He closed, he put the lid on his powers and everything, kept it at bay, and that created this, other entity inside of him. And as I was watching that, and then they showed basically Mob and the other entity, Kageyama Shigeo. Both of them call themselves that, but I don't know. When the other entity was like, or was it Mob that asked him, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Kageyama Shigeo. I am me, Kageyama Shigeo." And then Mob is also like, "I'm Kageyama Shigeo," and then they're like, "Oh, so you Mob." So that's why I'm remembering to this entity as Kageyama Shigeo, just so we can differentiate between these two. But when they showed that image of Mob and Kageyama Shigeo being these two people in one body that are joined together by these sort of roots, that image that they showed, and I'm like, this reminded me of, I was trying to think during that part about what it reminded me of, but I'm like, let me just stop and think about it later. And what I wanted to say in that moment was, it reminded me of Hunter x Hunter's Killua sister, what was it called, Aluka and Nanika. You have these two entities in one person. You have the nice, cutie version, that's Aluka, and then you have Nanika that has this ominous powers, these dangerous powers and everything inside of Aluka as well. So it feels like the same thing when it comes to Mob and Kageyama Shigeo. You have that entity that's just so powerful, no one can stop him and everything, Nanika. And then you have our regular Mob and everything. So it's like, I feel like the way this is gonna end is by Mob accepting that part of himself, both of them accepting each other. Because it feels like, since Mob has put him aside and created this entity or whatever. That kind of reminds me of the ID a little bit, you know, like that trauma happened, right? And then he sort of like separated himself into two identities, the one that's just so dangerous that you want to keep at bay, and then, Akisi Kageyama and everything. I don't know. But yeah, so he kept him at bay. So when Mob passed out after this accident and he couldn't move anymore, that gave Kageyama Shigeo, I guess, the opportunity to show up and just, go to that meeting at all costs through sheer will. So he was just walking around. He didn't care about hurting anybody. Thankfully, Teruki is okay. Oh my gosh, that moment when the bodybuilding club showed up, I'm like, oh, they're trying to help that body and everything. And then that one guy among them that just like was holding hands with Kageyama, and he just threw him. You knew that he was gonna die. Like, you knew that. And then you hear the crack, and I'm like, did he just kill him? Thank goodness. Thank goodness Ritsu showed up and stopped that from happening, because that guy would have been dead. And I would not want to imagine Mob realizing, like, after this whole thing finishes, Mob realizing that he killed him. That would destroy him. So it's like, that scared the crap out of me. So he went and met up with Kageyama, and he was thinking that that as he was making his way toward Kageyama, he was thinking that Kageyama is his brother as well, so they need to find a way to live with both versions of him, Mob and Kageyama and everything. So he got there and he's basically telling this to Kageyama, and Mob inside of himself was like, Ritsu, this is not going to work. It doesn't work like that. This guy is not me and everything. And I'm like, that's the problem. Mob is separating himself from Kageyama, and this is not going to stop until he fully accepts that they are both the same person, and that he needs to basically be able to show emotions while at the same time controlling his powers, I guess. When he lost control the first time around and Ritsu got hurt, he was a kid, Now he's grown up. He has more of more of control of himself, I guess, and understanding of himself and everything. So I feel like he should be able to manage having this awesome power and being able to display and being able to let his emotions show and everything. Like, at the same time, like, they need to integrate and become one person, basically, like D&D storylines and stuff. But yeah, that's where I think this is going. Have Mob and Kageyama accept each other and everything. So Mob was telling Ritsu, well, Ritsu couldn't hear, of course, that this is not gonna work and everything. And Kageyama put a stopped Ritsu in his tracks with all these sort of, it looks like this psychic binds stuff. So he stopped him, right? And the Ritsu was like, okay, there is only one way to stop Mob at this particular moment, because he kept remembering how him and Mob were when they were kids, and then the accident, and then the fact that Mob changed and all of that. And he's like, it's that trauma, the fact that he hurt his brother, that's what caused the change in Mob. So he's like, okay, I just need to create another trauma, and then that's gonna change him again. And he noticed how protective Kageyama was of the flowers and everything. So he was trying to destroy the flowers. This was the same thing that Teruki was trying to do previously. And I'm like, do not do this, because he's gonna lose it. If you destroy those flowers, he's gonna lose it. And then as he was, coming to that conclusion and everything, you see the percentage, you know, go up. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm thinking it's Mob that's, going up. But it was Ritsu and him just, I guess, I'm gonna say what that was is because he said this episode that he was afraid of this version of Mob. And that's why he wanted psychic powers and everything. So he came to this particular when he reached 100%, I guess in my mind I'm thinking is him realizing that he wanted these powers in order to stop Kageyama in this, whenever he comes in contact with him again, that he's gonna be able to stop him and thereby saving his brother. I don't know, but either way, he like 100%, and then he was trying to destroy the flowers and everything, and then Mob is like, no, and then you see Ritsu like fly all the way up, and I'm like, did this guy just flung his brother out of the like, I got scared that Ritsu was gonna die. I really got scared, but then they showed him on the ground and he was talking. I'm like, okay. And then it seems like in that particular moment, Mob reacted and basically created this tornado to sort of like enclose himself and Kageyama inside of this thing in order to protect his brother as well. I don't know, but he's the one that created it, and Ritsu's not gonna affect anything. Now it's gonna be, how awesome would it be? I feel that's what's gonna happen, Reagan and I'm forgetting the boy's name. Hanazawa. What am I doing? No, that's not Hanazawa. This is a Teruki. What? Serizawa, yeah. Reagan and Serizawa, they were making their way toward the tornado and everything. And then when they got there, and then Serizawa was like, I don't think it's a good idea for us to go in there. And Reagan is like, no, just get me in there and everything. So I feel like Reagan is gonna be the one that reasons with Mob, to try to get him to accept, for Mob and Kageyama to accept each other and then stop this thing that's happening. Because there's a special bond between Reagan and Mob. Reagan, I'm just remembering that the episode was, I think it was in season 2, when Reagan was revealed as a fake, and he was having this press conference and Mob showed up with his powers and everything, and they have this special bond between them where when one is in trouble, the other one shows up and make things better. So I feel like in this particular moment, Reagan is going to be the one that makes things better, that makes Mob realize you guys need to accept each other, and this whole thing is gonna end. So yeah, that's gonna be awesome to see, because I really don't think anything's gonna be happening to Reagan and Serizawa the way I was afraid, especially after we lost Dimple, and then Mob is like losing it all over the place, didn't care about what's happening to anybody. And then you had Teruki going in there and it seems like he's about to die. And then you have the bodybuilding club, the one guy that was about to have his neck cracked, and then you have Ritsu also going in there, and I'm like, so I was super afraid. But the fact that all these people are alive, would they kill Reagan? They will not kill Reagan, right? No, they can't kill Reagan. Reagan's gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay. So yeah, Reagan is gonna put a stop to this situation, and everything's gonna go back to normal. Well, not normal, but like a new version of Mob, I guess. So yeah, Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/feelamini. And you can see the next episode already uploaded there, and the full length for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Ay, oruguitas, no se aguanten más, hay que crecer, partir, volver, hacia adelante seguirás.